We interrupt the movie now to bring you a news special, an address to the nation by ANC President Nelson Mandela, State President F.W. de Klerk, and Dr. Mangosuthu Buthelezi.
And I can't accept people's calling for war. I mean, I don't accept what the PAC is saying about a year of great storms. Because I feel that we have achieved something in this country where those who have oppressed us in the past are actually talking to us and are showing readiness to negotiate for democratic elections.
Today, an unforgivable crime has been committed. The calculated, cold-blooded murder of Chris Hani is not just a crime against a dearly beloved son of our soil. It is a crime against all the people of our country. A man of passion, of unsurpassed courage, has been cut down in the prime of his life. Chris Hani is known to all of us, loved by millions, hated only by those who fear the truth. We say to all South Africans, black and white, that the day of truth will dawn. Chris spent his life fighting for freedom, democracy, and justice. It was this passion for liberty that persuaded him at an early age to commit himself fully to the African National Congress and the South African Communist Party. Chris Hani knew from personal experience the pain of deprivation and social inequality. An erudite scholar who could have chosen a less arduous path, he nonetheless selflessly chose the often thankless task of being a freedom fighter. He shared the trials and tribulations of 3 decades of exile. During that time, he served the cause of the liberation movement with distinction, earning the respect and love of millions in our country. His death demands that we pursue that cause with even greater determination. We appeal to every religious service over this Easter holiday to commemorate Chris Hani's life and what he stood for. Let Wednesday, 14 April, be a day on which, wherever we are, we hold memorial services in honor of one of the greatest freedom fighters this country has ever known. We are a nation deeply wounded by callous, uncaring men who plot such heinous crimes with impunity. The cries of our nation are heard from old men who bury their sons and daughters, wives who weep for their husbands, communities who endlessly bury young and old, infants and pregnant women. This killing must stop. Chris Hani championed the cause of peace, trudging to every corner of South Africa, calling for a spirit of tolerance among all our people. We are a nation in mourning Our pain and anger is real, yet we must not permit ourselves to be provoked by those who seek to deny us the very freedom Chris Hani gave his life for. Let us respond with dignity in a disciplined fashion. Let us observe April 14 in dignified memorial services and in accordance with the decisions of our leadership. The date of the funeral will be announced after consultation with the family. We shall lay to rest the mortal remains of Comrade Chris Hani in a manner befitting a hero of our people. No one will desecrate his memory by rash and irresponsible actions. At this moment of unbounded grief for the whole country, our deepest sympathies go to Chris' wife, Dimple, the children, and the rest of the family. The ANC dips its banner in salute to this outstanding son of Africa. Tsamaya hantle, hamba kahle, Comrade Chris.
I have learned with shock and outrage of the cold-blooded assassination of Mr. Chris Hani. I wish to convey my sincere condolences to the family and friends of Mr. Hani. He and I were at opposite poles of the political debate, but we were both prepared to resolve the problems of our country through the process of peaceful negotiations. He can no longer do so, but we who remain in leadership positions must rededicate ourselves to peaceful negotiations and to the creation of a society in which brutal acts such as this will no longer occur. The future of South Africa depends in a very real sense on our ability to resolve our political differences peacefully and in a spirit of toleration. Deeds such as the act this morning and other politically motivated murders place all South Africans in danger and undermine the work of people of goodwill and political leaders of goodwill from all political persuasions who are striving for a peaceful future for our country. All political leaders must guard against the temptation to use this dastardly deed for advancing their political cause. I also call on all leaders to show maximum restraint in the face of this act and to exercise the strongest possible discipline over their followers. I likewise call on all South Africans to exercise restraint. There is the risk of emotion being let loose, of people in return wanting to take the law into their own hands. This can only bring sorrow and destruction to South Africa. I want to give the assurance that the government will take, as it has already taken, immediate steps to bring the guilty to justice, and that we will continue to do whatever else may be necessary to protect our citizens, regardless of their political affiliation. Now is a time to be calm. Now is a time for all the moderate South Africans to take hands in the face of a threat posed by radical strategies, if that is the case, and it appears to be the case. Now is the time to keep the negotiations aimed at a peaceful resolution of our problems on track. Mr. Hani, in the latest period, in the last weeks and months, have been exercising that restraint. He has called upon everybody in South Africa, and particularly upon his own supporters, to stand firm and to become part of the peaceful resolution of our problems. It is tragic that this had to occur now. It is tragic that there are forces on the loose which promote this type of dastardly act. It is now the duty of all peaceful South Africans and all peace-loving South Africans, the overwhelming majority of all South Africans, to stand firm against radicalism from whichever source, and not to allow ourselves to be deviated from our stated goal, and that is to, through negotiation, bring peace to our country.
An instance of this kind highlights, how evil violence is as a method of solving problems, because we have lost a leader today of the caliber of Mr. Hani through this violence. I would like to say that it is in fact an impoverishment of our country that leaders of the caliber of Mr. Hani leave the scene at this crucial time when there's so much that they could have contributed towards resolving the problems of our country.
That was a special news item. We return now to our movie, King David.